The most serious issue in the workplace for the development of illness that we in total worker health need to solve is stress.
The employer who really wants to use the total worker health approach is going to take a look at stressors as hazards. And they're going to pull an employee group together just like they would any other hazard and say, okay, where in our workplace are there things that cause you stress? Your ability to do your job. Do you feel like you have a good fit with your job? How's your relationship with your supervisor, your coworkers? Any of those kinds of things can be stressors for employees. And I think thinking of them as hazards puts them in a framework that makes it easier for the small employer to address and actually control them. Stress absolutely has an impact on safety. When you think about how distracted you can be when something has happened, if you've lost a loved one or some other traumatic event, you're just very busy. Maybe you're going to school and work at the same time, and you've got all these things. You've got several projects going at work. It can be very difficult to stay engaged in what you are supposed to be doing right now.
If we define stress as a perceived threat, real or imagined, manifested in some sort of pressure of time plus task, we're all somewhat stressed. There's a lot asked of people at work, so deadlines and pressures and our thoughts about that can really add to stress, So people just carry that with them home to a place that's also, I think, pretty stressful. People with families, and relationships. Employers need to acknowledge that the doing more with less creates stress, and to kind of say it out loud and to create an atmosphere of maybe we're all in this together. There's always the resource of going and talking to somebody. There's a culture, I think, of asking for help as some sign of weakness. We're hardwired to kind of easily go down a negative path, and people can, if they notice the things they've done right in the day, it's going to make you feel so much better than all the things you didn't do right in the day. This idea that we're never doing enough when in fact we're doing tons and tons.
We started out with the chaplains and the financial literacy. You'd see the 401k loans and the garnishments and things like that, and you think, well, we have to help people. You want to help people with some of the issues they have, and so the financial literacy kind of started it off. You see people struggling on a day-to-day basis. I'm a human resources manager. I'm not a social worker or a counselor, and so I'm not really equipped to do the things that are necessary or give them the advice they need, and that's why we have the employee assistance program. We have chaplains that come in twice a week and just are face-to-face with employees as a resource for them if that's what they want.
They can do contracts with external EAPs, and so they would have a go-to person. There are some free resources in the community. Again, if somebody in a smaller organization happened to be uninsured and they still wanted to go and talk to someone, there's community mental health centers where you can access services on a sliding scale fee. There's crisis centers if people kind of don't know what to do. And people who are insured, you can always call your own insurance company and ask for resources. I'm feeling anxious. Do you have 3 people in my area within a 20-mile radius who can help me with that?
We want you the best part of your day to be when you go home. And so we always encourage everybody here, if you need a flexible schedule because your child's involved in baseball, softball, any kind of sport, we do a lot, and you don't have to take PTO, you can do a flexible schedule.
We do have what we call a Milers Club, and that encourages people to exercise, to take breaks, any stress relieving activities. You're credited for that. For me, stress relieving is trout fishing.